I'm going to start with a little mindfulness. We were talking last night at dinner, and I try to be a pretty mindful person and have experienced many challenges in my life, and many of them unfair, many of them unwanted, certainly most undesirable. And what I've realized over the years is that each experience that I've had is a gift, a path to a better way of life. And I've learned these things through meditation practice and coaching. I see an executive coach. Let's see if this works. The guy I work with quoted recently Oliver Wendell Holmes. I wasn't sure who that was, by the way. I don't think any of you guys know who that is either. Supreme Court Justice. He actually saved Lincoln's life, but most notably was a professor at Harvard back in the early days. And he said, "I wouldn't give a fig for the simplicity on this side of complexity, but I would give my right arm for the simplicity on the far side of complexity." And when I first heard that, I thought I knew what it meant, but I wasn't quite sure. And what I learned what it meant is the way to simplification is through complexity itself. And so the lesson here is that, for me, complexities in my life and all of our lives give us a better path forward. And I'm assigning that to media because complexities in media in the day and age that we live in can also give us a better path forward. And we've all heard that premium media companies are under attack. Don't know if you heard that. Bigger companies disintermediating, larger tech firms commanding big dollars with sub-premium content, agency buyers making ridiculous requests to save their own jobs. And at Operative, we think about this as an opportunity, and I think you all might be thinking about it as an opportunity as well, certainly from some of the folks that I've talked to yesterday. And what I've realized, and I think many of you have realized, is that this setback is really a set forth. Because you all have a better product. And really only need to allow buyers to access that product with simplicity in the markets that you want to play in. They say that you are what you consume. And everything we do alters our path of evolution. And so the things we hear in the press, that premium is dead, and that FANG, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google are going to eat premium media, all this negative consumption sits inside of our brains and distorts us and blocks us from progress. And so we have work to do to purge out this information that we have consumed and replace it with new ideas that can generate a new path forward. Advancement, if you will. Because the most unfortunate part of a setback is the failure to capitalize on the opportunity it presents for new growth. And that is the goal of this conference, to help you take advantage of this gift and make this an opportunity to thrive. Because what other choice do we have? And so, I think a lot of this is about simplicity and control. And the theme of this event is market makers and market members creating a new path for growth. And a market maker is big, takes on risk, makes huge capital investments, brings a lot of things together and makes them available as a marketplace. And market members will tend to go at it themselves because they have a niche market or a niche opportunity, but also will participate in marketplaces or with market makers in order to make money. And I like these two terms, market maker, market member, because it signifies to me what the new media landscape is going to be. It's no longer about a programmatic company or an ad tech company that is creating a marketplace and basically coming to you and saying, your complexity is too hard, don't bother solving it, work through us. We'll take positions in your inventory and we'll sell that. That's the business that Google has made and Facebook has tried to attempt, and programmatic ad tech on the digital side, which is now starting to pop up in TV. That is not the future of this market. The future of this market is media companies working with each other to create marketplaces. Omar Sheikh, who said last year, 2017, that he believes $100 billion in incremental opportunity is coming to media. And he believes this money will go to what he calls a targeted TV bucket, which he puts video in that category as well, so certainly relevant for everyone in the room. And that media companies will win the lion's share of these dollars over the next 10 years. And the largest percent of this $100 billion pot sits with Facebook and Google. Opportunity. By the way, Omar is here. He's our keynote. You're going to hear from him in a few minutes. And Facebook and Google are experiencing challenges. There is a nice window of opportunity. Content is under a microscope. Measurement is being questioned by brands, agencies, and the Media Ratings Council. And the road to premium content is much longer for them than everyone has expected. Certainly, the narrative that we've all been consuming doesn't appear to be true. And so what's keeping buyers around with these large media companies? Drugs. A drug, actually. A drug called simplicity. Buyers are willing to settle for much less premium content in order to get it fast and easy. Simplicity is a drug, and it is hard to wean people off of that drug. And I like to call this an opportunity to enter the platform era. Premium is a platform era. And traditional media companies, this is new. This is new for a lot of people in the room because traditional media companies have not had to offer platform-like services. Yes, we have to be more efficient with our buyers, we have to be more efficient internally, but this platform idea is relatively new. And so in order to solve this problem, a few things need to happen. One, we have to deal with the fragmentation issue. And so for many of you, that means, and I know a lot of people in the room are going through M&A processes, they're acquiring other companies, they're adding multiple properties, and so they were fragmented to start with across the multiple platforms and swim lanes of business and models that they offer, and then they're buying other companies that have fragmented properties and people and systems. And so the issue compounds, which is unfair because I'm buying another company to create an opportunity. I'm innovating. And what happens when you innovate is you create complexity. The more innovation you do, the more complexity you experience. And operating like a platform doesn't mean one specific company will operate like a platform, because just NBC or just CBS or just Meredith or just Discovery on their own are not enough to move the market. It all has to happen together. Everyone needs to unite to create a common platform, premium as a platform, and unify together. So, how can you create a platform? What can a platform do? Well, platforms allow you to transact in ways that the buyer wants. So if they want to automate through an API, if they want to have a demand-side platform, if they want to buy through a portal, all ways that media companies needs to start offering their inventory. They want to use the measurement source that they want to use and the currency they want to use. We need to allow it. Same inventory, different buying methods. And do so while maintaining control, or enough control to make sure that you're giving the right inventory to the right buyer at the right time. Better yields. And so how do we solve this? By borrowing from the experience of others and other industries. So the idea of supply chain flexibility, converting pieces of your supply to match the execution methods of the buyer by possessing an abstraction layer, hiding back-end details, execution and implementation details, and providing front-end, easy-to-use interoperability. And on top of this, creating an accessible platform with APIs, allowing clients and providers to access your enterprise in different ways than all the programmers of all the technologies that you've ever used in-house and commercially had never thought of. And you may have heard, we've rebranded to Operative. I hope you've heard that. by now. Thank you. Yeah, we're very excited. And we believe that, and one of the reasons we did that is because Operative has lots of the ingredients that are needed to sprinkle across traditional and digital media in order to create these platform-like capabilities. Data-driven business models across screens, enabling multiple pricing methods, choice of measurement type, integrations with any buy-side technology of choice. And we're leveraging the Operative One framework and using microservices to build a new kind of operating system, to bring together all media types and allow you all to start operating like a platform. We call it AOS, the Ad Operating System. We paid a lot of money for that, by the way. And we've partnered with several companies in the room, NBC, Sinclair. If you find them, you could ask what we're doing. And we're using AOS to help you unlock new opportunities. So if you're local trying to go national, or you're national trying to go local, or you're linear trying to go addressable, or you're trying to offer up your inventory programmatically without compromising the integrity of your rates. Simplicity and control together. Which brings me to today's value. And I think what many of you might not realize is that a lot of these capabilities are already available and can start helping you today. And we have customers that are using our products in ways that we never, ever thought possible. And so we asked some of those customers to share with you via what we're calling these customer spotlights. They'll happen later this morning. We'll have NBC, Washington Post, Univision, and another strategist. And they're going to talk about their use cases, 15 minutes each. The other value we're going to bring today is best practices, because we want you to hear from as many people as possible and interact with as many people as possible. So we've got Joanna from Forrester, who's going to run a panel with three of my favorite people from Scripps, ABC, and Vivo. We're also, early this afternoon, we're going to conduct roundtables. So if you've been here before, you know what the roundtable formats are. We're going to break up in about, I think, 15 or 16 tables of 10. And each table will be moderated, and then moderators and table captains, yes, one of you who didn't expect it, can come up on stage and talk about what your table discussed. 3 minutes each. So that'll run for about 15, 20 minutes. And ultimately, these interactive formats will help us decide where to make our investments. So if you're a market maker and you're in the M&A space and you're doing roll-ups, how can we help you with that? If you're a market member and you're going at it on your own and you want to play in your own space and other marketplaces, how can we help you with that? The things that create the biggest opportunities, by definition, create complexity, and we want to help everyone solve that. And that's what this conference is designed to do. So let's begin our adventure of crossing over to the other side of complexity and work towards a thriving environment. And so, what's your role? To be vocal, to get excited, to cheer each other on and tell us what you care about, and use that energy to really chart the course forward. No speech would be complete without thanking sponsors, by the way. SpotX, Rubicon, Infinitive, Matrix. Let's give these guys a round of applause. Thank you so much. I'd also like to thank the Syntech team, in particular, the people who made this event possible. Allison, I see her over there. Rachel, who usually is back by the mic. Charlotte and Kelly, who I don't know if they're in the room. They're over by checking in people. And then Barnaby, who is now running product marketing. Is Barnaby? Where's Barnaby? Yeah, there he is right there. Thank you guys. You guys put so much effort in, especially over the last few days. Everyone has 95 emails from me on what is going wrong and what to do about it. So I really appreciate it. Also, is Mike Pooley here? There he goes. I'd like to recognize the distinguished gentleman in the front, Mr. Mike Pooley. Mike is Operative's new chairman. We can call it new. It's been, 4 months now, 5 months. Yeah, that's right. Mike was CEO of Pace, which is a technology company native to media and entertainment. Mike sold and offered broadcast and broadband solutions and sold his company for $2.1 billion, which is pretty cool. And so I'm really excited to be working with Mike. Mike really helping me shake up the dynamic at Operative and getting us on the path that we all want to be on. So I really appreciate your help, Mike. A few housekeeping items. You can find the login info on your badges. The password is for the network, Operative, all lowercase exclamation point. You can find digital version of the agenda on the website. That's what I use. You can go to opedsummit.com, pretty easy. If you're going to tweet, and you might want to, there are social media boards. By the way, I'm about to send an email that the social media boards are too far set back if we can move them forward.